Just wanted to get on here, it's July 2nd, and address the things that I've been addressing. The thought boxes. Hey. You know, I've said before that the thought boxes, the organized crime group, I told you they go as far as YouTube. Now, if YouTube stretches all over, I mean, they have different servers for different countries, but it stretches all over. That's good. hmm Some Brussels sprouts. Get you some Brussels sprouts. So today, I was emailed about somebody I was working with to plan a little trip, little vacation, since I haven't been on one in 3 years. And I found out today that that woman lost her job. Lost her job. You know, if you plan vacations, that means that a couple different things. You may work in a call center randomly in America or internationally, but you have a family to feed. That's not unique. Having a family to feed, being able to take care of yourself, is not unique. I found out today that woman who was assisting me in taking a vacation lost her job. Now, a couple days ago, I started calling out YouTube because there are social media readers that I've been calling freakazoids for the last couple of months. You know, they're reporting back to the elites, they're reporting back to the higher ups. Oh, this is what she's doing. It's what we're doing is not working, whatever. The breaking in, the scandal, the scam, the scheming is not working. So people have to lose their jobs because y'all are scheming. Let's talk about privilege. Privilege has come up a lot through the pandemic, but there's more privilege out here than most people realize. Oh yeah. Privilege exists. And yes, I've been pulled over in my car for 20 plus years. But like I said, I've never been arrested. And if you can show me those arrest records, I'll sue. I will never be arrested. Let's get it together. I'll never be arrested. It doesn't matter what y'all thought boxes planned. Or it also doesn't matter who you said what about me. People who know me know me. So we're talking about fraud over fraud. However, when I got this email today, and this woman that I've been talking to since May, maybe since right before my birthday, she made a couple of things happen for me. And she lost her job after she executed a little plan for me. She is not with the company no longer as of today. This is really good. She kind of help me execute a plan last Thursday. So just a week ago. Today is July 2nd. And this woman who helped me execute a plan does not have a job today. As I've said before, my privacy is invaded. I'm fully aware that the VP I worked with bragged about having contracts with YouTube and other social media accounts. I'm fully aware that he worked with Jamie, a couple other people from the police department here in Columbus, Ohio, to set this up. So that my YouTube channels would be involved with an organized crime group on YouTube, along with some other YouTube and social media accounts. When I tell you that they will do anything for a dollar and a dime, your family does not matter to you. The woman I was making a plan with has nothing to do with YouTube. Nothing. She lost her job today. I said this a couple months ago. That anybody involved with helping me was going to get shunned by the group, put down by the group, put in their place. I wrote this on my YouTube channel. I did. I did not create my YouTube channels to go viral. I never have. But this is my platform to let you guys be aware of the fraud committed by the Fleshmans, Jasmine Fleshman, Norman Fleshman Jr., to be committed by my family in Virginia with no active proof. It's not real. There is no proof of me being erratic. There's no proof of me being anything other than what I've been. Again, my life is consistent, not because I'm 43 years old now, but because that's how I learned to live when I was a young lady. It wasn't respected then. It's not respected now. So when it comes to them Fleshmans, my nieces and nephews in Virginia, I mean, you better believe a dime and a dollar matters to them. They'll do anything for money. But when it comes to Norman Fleshman Senior, was my dad. I estranged myself from him in 2018. When these things happened, I did it for a reason. I had already kind of distanced myself from them, which was totally fine. We never had any family issues. We continued to revolve around each other all of this entire time. And throughout the years that I was estranged from my father, Norman Fleshman Sr., look at me, we communicated. I had no issues with them. Most of the communication was just kind of keeping me up to date with some things that would be going on, not just everyday things, but just things that would go on. And, you know, when he got married, he told me about when he got married to somebody in 2022, Moon or something. Okay. In May of 2020, May 2020, during the pandemic, I traveled to Virginia for my 37th birthday. I spent some time with my brother Joseph down there, my nephew Franklin, my mom, my sisters, normal stuff. However, part of the reason me going down there was to talk with my nephew, Demarius. Demarius and our Uncle Ronnie share the same birthday. In our family, my uncle was the first Taurus born. He was my grandmother's oldest son. May 4th. After many decades, I was the next Taurus born in this family, May 9th. And even decades after me, it took a long time because righteousness is not expected or respected. My nephew Dede was born, Demarius. May 4th, same day as our uncle. My mother's oldest grandson, Franklin Elijah Adams, he's incarcerated now because my older sister, Rejoice, set him up for a lifetime to fail. She never gave him a chance. She taught him what he didn't need to know. I did not. I carry a champion torch. From my Uncle Ronnie, it was passed down to me. It was passed down to Franklin. It was passed down to Demarius. Demarius is with the group. He sided with the Fleshmans and the family and the group after I paid for his flights and his bus ticket from Arizona twice, after I've sent him money time after time. It's proof in my bank account. This is what happened. In 2020, Demarius came back from Arizona, not having a great time there. That's where his father lived. And I said, hey, come to Ohio. If I can get you a job, I can get you a job, which I had 2 jobs planned for him. One was working with Leroy Madden. Another was close by the house where he could walk to while I worked. While I worked 40 hours a week. I lived in Whitehall. So there's plenty of jobs in Whitehall. So I went down for my birthday, May 7th, 2020. We were down there for 3 or 4 days. I was down there for 3 or 4 days, and Demarius, my nephew, my sister's first child, got in the car with me. So both of my sisters, my oldest sister on my mom's side and my younger sister on my mom's side, both had their sons in May, Terrence like me. Of course, the torch was passed down. I kept it lit. I can't say anything else about Franklin. My nephew's been in jail since 2022, and Demarius chose the group. But let's go back 6 years. I went to Virginia, spent a couple of days down there chilling with the family. May 10th, we came back. May 10th, May 11th, we came back to Ohio because obviously I had to work. I've worked all my life. And brought him back with his clothes and his game and stuff like that. It's cool. The deal was, let's make it work, see if we can get you a job up here, even if you want to finish school, because he dropped out of school. Let's see if we can make it work up here in Ohio, because things were not working in Virginia. Things were not working in Lynchburg, Virginia. I'm his aunt. I did my part. I always do my part. So he spent most of the summer up here with me, but then his sister was pregos and all that other good stuff, so he wanted to go back home. He missed his family, and I said, okay. He never ended up getting a job here. He never ended up working at all. I paid for our food continuously because I lived in the house. I lived in my house. So he came to stay with me. I paid the bills, I paid the rent. I never asked him for a dime. Actually, when he left, when it was time for him to go, I bought him $330 worth of clothes. Leroy Madden gave him $100, bought him a game. Me and Leroy Madden drove my nephew down to Charleston, West Virginia, where my mom, my sister Catherine, met me, Demarius, and Leroy halfway. We stayed in a hotel maybe 30 minutes outside of Charleston, West Virginia in 2020. And Leroy paid for that. So once he got back home, he was settled, but then after a couple of weeks, things didn't work out well. He was ready to go back to Arizona, somewhere, just anywhere to get out of Lynchburg, Virginia. A couple of months later, I went back down there. I have the bank receipts to prove it. My Chase bank account is proof of me traveling there, picking him up, me visiting there, and taking care of the things I needed to take care of, which was asked by me of my family. I've done my part. I've always been responsible. And when people say they do their part, it's because they've been called to. I've always been the one to be called when it comes to people who need something in my family. I am the first one to say yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not buying cars. I am not paying rent. But things that fit within my budget of $50,000 to $60,000 a year is what most Black women fit within, most Black people. If you haven't realized that yet, let me give you a jewel. Most Black people are stuck in a bubble. You will make $40,000 a year, 50 maybe. If you get to 55, okay, it is because you are above 35, 40. And if you make 60, it is because they have to play fair. Fair. I've been working for 20 years. I know this. Most of y'all don't know it because y'all are living in a different generation. Offered a couple of things. Especially if social media is involved. You need a $7,000 promotional check. Get paid off some promotional checks. Okay. Ooh, your promo. So anyway, I've never had a problem with my brothers and sisters, their kids. Never had a problem, never had an issue. But they have falsified my identity so much, committed crimes in my name so much, that I have to get on here and continue to explain who I am. Of course I laugh. I'm sarcastic. Why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't I be? But you better believe I'm sarcastic. I'm gonna make you laugh. I'm gonna make me laugh. I'm gonna laugh. But what I'm not gonna do is lie. What I'm not gonna do is lie. I ain't got no reason to lie. Now, I said this before about people losing their job. When I saw that she lost her job today, I mean, that's the third person. That's the third person since December that I've been communicating with, and because my phone is mirrored, and the ops, and I don't mean ops like some childish people, I mean ops, the elites, are mirroring my phone. They're watching everything I talk about, so that they can block it. My phone calls, my emails, text messages, FaceTime calls, they do all of it. When I saw that she lost her job, man, that girl had to lose her job so that y'all can commit fraud. So anybody that say hi, show respect, anybody that do anything that I need assistance with, and mind you, I pay for everything in my life, y'all gonna make them pay the price for it? What does that tell you about the people who helped you? It wasn't just me you turned on. When you were done with my family and they helped y'all steal, y'all turned on them. You ran around town and bragged about it. Y'all turn on everybody to keep a leg up in the situation because you do it in the background. This is who y'all work for. This is who y'all understand. I told you I'm brave. I don't care anything about YouTube. I never made a dime off YouTube. Before I married Jaffa Abu Irbeha, baby, I was putting YouTube videos out there, just little shorts of my lottery tickets, my birds. If I wanted to go viral, if I wanted to make money on YouTube, I could have easily sought it. Everything is right here in Columbus, Ohio. And when I mean everything, everything, the fraud, the fortune, the phony, right here and right now at this very moment, my apartment is under illegal surveillance. They are watching me illegally through these devices in my home make this video. They didn't watch me make all my videos in here. I'm not worried about y'all's racism and hate. I guess you forgot. Or I guess it don't mean nothing to you. I didn't forget. And it means everything to me. I'm telling you now, you wouldn't believe the amount of hate that I go through every day. The nastiness, the stares, the bad comments, the people looking over their shoulder to see, oh, did she eat it? Did she eat it? Did she drink it? Did she drink it? They have these social media tarot readers right here in Columbus. It's a lot of them because Alexis knew how to invade people's family. The Franklin County court clerks knew how to hire people. I told you that they hire poor people and people who need assistance to report back, and they give them these social media channels so that they can make money. Poor people. And I do mean that 50-50. I don't split things down the middle very much. But when I say 50-50 and they have to have these social media contracts, I mean that they literally take poor people and give them a couple of legs up, men, women, especially young men and women, and they feel like they're doing the right thing. Then the other 50% of them are people who aren't necessarily living check to check. They're above that, but they have the hate and the discrimination to match check to check. Everybody get paid. Don't believe that currency is everything. Currency is not everything, okay? It's not. Hate is free. Bravery is priceless. If hate wasn't free, if hate wasn't free, then my ancestors and people who live here wouldn't still be doing what they're doing. Wouldn't be available, wouldn't have told us to count on them after they were gone. The people who set me up, Jaffa, Leroy Madden, Alexis, his baby mamas, all up north. And you know Leroy liked to travel to Florida. He ain't no different than Jaffa. Set Jaffa up. Leroy always loved Florida. You know, he was dealing with a teacher. They used to travel. The teacher, she used to have a fade. They worked together. Set Jaffa up. Set Jaffa up 1,000 ways from Sunday. Okay? He was the first one to set Jaffa up. But because Leroy Madden did it simultaneously, the white people didn't see the white baby mamas he had coming. The black girls didn't see the black girls he had coming. Even people in their group didn't see how many black people and white people were involved with us out of racism, hate, out of simple jealousy. Now, let me be honest. I said simple jealousy. I said that too quick. I meant what I said, but shallowness has its depth, right? Look at Leroy Madden. Boy, was he jealous. You take jealousy, you mix it in with hate, And he discriminated against his own. There's no question. Leroy Madden was discriminatory against his own before I even became like good friends with him in 2012. We started dating in 2013. I meant what I said. We fell out in 2016 because he had issues with strippers at Sirens. It don't matter what you know about him. But he was not easily fooled like Jaffa, because he said to me one day, somebody in Jamaica made him mad. And he hid under the porch until that person came home. Oh yeah? Till they came home. All right. I live my own life. I don't expect when I meet people to be peachy clean. I don't expect people to be peachy clean when I meet them. American life is tough. But when I tell you, when you waiting under the porch to meet people till they come home, you mean business. You mean business. And for those who not understanding, I said business. It ain't nothing Leroy Madden won't do to ensure him and his group and the baby mamas succeed from here to Wisconsin. From here to the west side of Columbus, to south side Columbus trash. Trailer park trash. That's what it is. So, I called out YouTube last week for working with content creators and social media tarot readers here in Columbus and also, in a couple other states. It's cool. I called him out last week on it because I called him out last year. I told him last year, and I posted last year on my channels about my YouTube algorithm being flooded with these YouTube readers that are also part of the identity scam group. I meant what I said last year. I'm gonna give you what you give me. You wanna cut my YouTube views? Cool. I don't get paid from them anyway. You were stealing the checks. You were the one committing fraud with Jaffa, with Leroy Madden, with Jim. That's him. You followed the ways of disdain, discrimination, hate, jealousy, fraud, phoniness, thievery, misdemeanors, federal crimes, felonies. Yeah, that's what y'all did. Y'all been broke the law. You don't write it, you break it. Not bend it, you write it. Today is July 2nd. My granny's birthday is July 31st. Let me show y'all the apartment that they've been breaking into, because they know when I'm home and when I'm not. This is my front door into my apartment. This is my table. So when you see this apartment on the dark web, and this is the table that I put my messages on about the illegal surveillance that's involved with the elites and that vice president I worked with, and Allah Hamiyel, Jaffa's divorce attorney. Yeah, that hoe. Bag of bones. When you see this furniture, just like you saw it on Parsons, that I paid for through America's First Choice. I paid for this couch through America's First Choice with my Chase bank account, with deposits that come from my check every 2 weeks. It can't be declined. It can't be denied. I paid for that. $1,300. Okay? These tables I paid for. Now, this table, I think that was maybe $70. Jaffa sent me $100 one day. I bought them tables. You know, nothing important. Nothing important, nothing big. I paid for everything in my life. That TV right there, I hadn't had it since a month after we left Parsons. Yeah, ain't nothing paid for by that fool. Y'all know it because y'all helped him steal everything from me. See these dresses? Quite a few of these dresses I done had since before I was married to Jaffa, before I knew he existed. I got this dress in 2021. I got this dress 2022, before he even existed. But it's not good enough because I'm a black woman. All of this was done to me and not good enough for me because I'm a black woman. Wait a minute. Good enough for the fraud y'all committed, right? The dark web, the fake profiles y'all created, everything else y'all did and continue to do. It's good enough for the fraud now. It's not good enough for reality. That lets y'all know the kind of world y'all live in. Now, I changed this water out. I changed it out last week. Of course, my fish have been poisoned. I buried them in my planters over here. Back in January, I lost my fish. I buried them late January, February, somewhere around there. And I didn't buy any more fish for this tank that survived. I bought 2 more fish. They did not survive. They just throw poison in the tank. It's easy for them to break in. Easy. They've been doing it for years now. They bragged about it when they were gang stalking me. And let me know who was gang stalking me. Gang stalking me since I married Jaffa in 2022, so 2023. So they've been gang stalking me since a couple years before that. And that was definitely Jasmine and them, but it also was Leroy and them. It was the people I worked property management for who had nothing to do with my marriage. They gang stalked me too because they were stealing my commissions and mocking me. What makes you think I'm gonna stop as a black woman? I'm supposed to stop and be scared just because a couple of black people involved, the judge using whiteout on my divorce decree, not listening to me when I came into the courtroom in July and I told him that my husband was discriminating against me, that his community was discriminating against me, that his family showed hate towards me. The judge didn't care about anything. He continued our divorce hearing till October 10th. He said, "Are you going to have a lawyer?" I said, "I will do my best." This is on record. I said I would do my best. I would get a lawyer. Of course, I had already had scheduled appointments with lawyers, but I could not afford them, so I became a self-representing attorney. I had no choice but to put that notch under my belt, because how can I not show up for me? I put that self-representing attorney notch under my belt, and I went back to court on October 10th. The 2 lawyers I spoke to in between, which was the only time that I spoke to lawyers about my divorce, were both $5,000. Can't afford that. Jaffa paid the rent and the utilities from July 2024 to August 2025. That was it. No, July 2025. When August came, in August 2025, we both began to split the bills again. Obviously, I had already filed for divorce in May. So when he said he could not afford it in August of 2025, I paid the rent. I paid my half of the rent. He paid his half of the rent. In September, I put the utility bills in my name, the electric bill in my name, the gas in my name, and I paid the better half of our rents that we split. I did that. My bank account is proof of that. He wasn't no provider. I said before, even when initially when I met him, of course, and we got married, it wasn't about like luxury living. We both had almost the same amount of money. It wasn't that serious. We had almost the same amount of money. I had a couple $1,000s more than him, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 more than him. But we had enough. And when Jackie forced me to move, really, I had no choice but to take that on the chin after living in that house for 4 years with no issues. If I had issues before 4 years, then she could have been did anything. She owned the house. I didn't do anything wrong. She simply didn't like the fact that I got married. But black people get blocked day in and day out, and that's totally cool. We get blocked day in and day out from jobs, from eating, from driving, from growing, black day in and day out from our families. I mean, I'm from Virginia, so the prison to pipeline system was designed down there, or school to prison pipeline. That's the way. That's right. That's right. School to prison pipeline was designed down there. We all knew that growing up. It was signed before we were even born, and it has just continued on in a different dynamic across this country. Of course, it doesn't mean that I don't love my country. I do. My friends' family and my family died fighting for this country. There were many African Americans who died in vain. And I don't mean because of what they fought for. They fought naturally. They fought naturally, just like any soldier for their country. But they died in vain because they didn't know the truth. They died in vain because they thought they knew the truth. There's a difference between what you thought and what you knew and what it really was. I'm going to fight either way. The willingness for me to stand time is not new just because of y'all. I lived a private life, yes, of course, but I lived a good life. I don't have to put that label on that. I know exactly what I did October 10th, 2012, November 5th, 2013, January 7th, 2014, July 10th, 2015. You don't know what I did. You just assume because I'm an African American woman and you can say things about me that are not true. I've lived truthful and I've lived valid. But recently, like I said, I know y'all got paid because I seen the people that came after me. I seen the people that made sure they let me know they were coming after me. I know y'all got paid, meaning that whatever justice system y'all are using from here to Virginia to, I would assume, South Carolina, Georgia, Detroit, California, because that's the license plate y'all's been using. Y'all got some justice in them some states from Jaffa and his family, my estranged family. The Fleshmans have no reason to be involved in this, but they are. Again, I haven't seen my brother since he was in jail in 2010. There's no proof that I saw him. There's no proof. In Virginia, they never did anything for me. I worked hard for everything that I earned, the cars that I bought, the jobs that I did. They never did anything for me. My mother helped me with my rent one time when I was 19 years old. My other brothers and sisters, think about it. I'm 43 now, and I was 19. My other brothers and sisters weren't even teenagers yet. How can anybody assist? Of course, I relied on my mother. My older sister, Pinky, she wasn't even working. Rejoice, that's what I'm talking about, aka Pinky in the Brain. That's what she called herself all these years. She wasn't even working. She was popping out babies by a dope dealer. How can she help somebody? And my brother Eric, he was doing what he wanted to do. He had his own child to take care of, things like that. My mom is who I called, and she did help. It took about a week, but it did help when I was 19 years old. That was the only time I ever helped her. I ever asked her for money. The only time. I didn't feel comfortable doing it any other time. I mean, let's just say 16 to 19, I was never comfortable asking her for a dime. I didn't ask. There was love that I received in my life, actually, from many people. It didn't matter if you were blood, and it didn't matter if I was 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, 8 years old. There was a certain love that I received from people in my life that I met that I still carry with me today. That same love I met them with is the same love I carry with me today. People weren't looking down on me. That's something y'all are told to do. Y'all are called, emailed, guided to look down on me. Y'all are full of foolishness to look down on me. You are told to look down on me. You are told to shame me. Y'all are just following the ropes of disdain and discrimination and hate and racism and real estate fraud, identity fraud, stolen identity, digital crimes, cyber crimes, domestic crimes on your own soil. Y'all committed domestic crimes on your own soil for the help of foreigners to advance in international crimes. They break in this apartment every time I'm not here. They break in my apartment every time I walk out that door. You better believe the consistency is Monday and Thursday when they break in this apartment. That's when they center their crime around whatever they're doing on Monday and Thursday. When they break in my apartment, and I don't mean break in like break in, they just get in. I'm saying break in because you're infringing on my space. To the criminals and the organized crime group, they can just walk in. They got the key. It's been like that since January 3rd, 2026, since the day they knocked on my door. And I was in here asleep at 6 o'clock in the morning. They've been breaking into my apartment. That was their way of letting me know they found out where I lived. So there were several cars that used to sit outside of my house on Parsons Avenue, several cars. And January 1st, that night, I saw two of those cars in the parking lot right outside this window. January 2nd, I saw a couple of different cars that were very suspicious, but sitting out there in front of this window. Now, I have a bird's eye view of the cars in that parking lot. Plus, I have an iPhone. I can zoom right in. The criminals know I have an iPhone 16. The criminals know how much money I have in my bank account. They're all mirroring my phone. This is how this organized crime group works. And Alexis and her trashy ass family in South Columbus bragged about how they were breaking up families, not just mine. Black people stupid. They got people's families broke up left and right because they had access to multiple people's information in a system her and her family was connected to with the police because they connected to the police. Man. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have wanted to go through any danger. I wouldn't have wanted my pets to be killed. I wouldn't have wanted to be poisoned. I wouldn't have wanted my pets to be poisoned. But y'all did it out of racism and hate. The racism y'all chose against me ain't nothing new. It's been what y'all have done to African Americans in this country for decades. Y'all got some people in Florida that's doing work for y'all. Okay. They doing work out of hate. They get paid from you. Remember that. They get paid from you. I'm not easily fooled. I give you back what you have given me, flooding my YouTube feed with bull crap. It's a shame that this is what I had to experience. So I'll be sending more people to my YouTube channel, but I'll also be sending more people to my LinkedIn channel. Oh, and this ain't a warning. I've been doing this since last year in April 2025. You want to cut my YouTube videos? You want to do whatever? I already did it ahead of you, honey. People know where I live in this apartment. I told them y'all was breaking in. That's why I put my address online. I put my address online because y'all have been breaking into my apartment. I have invited 4 people to this day since I moved in here, December 31st. 4 people to this apartment. But according to the ops, imagine who they done broke in here. And you'll say, oh, well, you need cameras. You need cameras. No, don't get me wrong. I had cameras on Collingwood. I had cameras on Parsons. They just broke into the Wi-Fi router and then did a whole bunch of nasty stuff in the Wi-Fi router. That was Jaffa's group. And he'd been working with the Fleshmans since we lived on Collingwood. So like I said before, I never had a husband. What makes you think I don't know? I have known everything since I've been able to start putting things together. And it was very late for me, don't get me wrong. But I started putting 2 and 2 together at the end of March 2025. That's why I dropped his ass like a bad habit the middle of April. Yes, it was heartbreaking, but I had to make that choice in a 2-week span, drop you like a bad habit. 2.5 weeks later, file divorce. That's what I had to do. I had a month to make that choice, and I made that choice from jump, and I just continued to live through it, and it didn't take me long. File divorce, boot, here you go. How many boots you need? I ain't got but one. I gave you the boot. And when the hitman told me what Jaffa was doing, what my family was doing, what a couple of the elites were doing, the hitman told me that the hitman was working with my coworkers and signed NDAs to frame me, to commit fraud. Said that Jaffa had properties he was not trying to sell with me. He was trying to kill me. That my family was involved in Virginia and Ohio. Now, what kind of hitman you hire that knows about that I haven't even been close with my family up here in Ohio at least since 2012. No, we've seen each other, but barely. How you know them and how you know them in Virginia. But see, the family in Ohio up here was talking crap about the family in Virginia about everything they did and spreading up the truth up here because they wanted to get rid of us all. Oh, the hitman told me quite a few things. The hitman told me quite a few things, but I'm the one who was ignored. I'm the black woman who was ignored. I'm the one who was looked down upon when I, in 20 years of customer service, been the face of customer service for damn near over 10 years for sure, but also worked in customer service, the face of customer service, a trainer, an IT certified technician. I was never hiding. I work hard. I go out to eat. I take my vacations. There was nothing hidden about me. It ain't no you didn't know who I was. Why should 2 million people know who I am? 3 million people know who I am. I've never needed that. I knew who I was. I worked hard. I did that 40 hours a week. Plus, I worked in customer service. There was nothing hidden about me. Nothing. If something was hidden about me, then why do I have 37 tickets between Ohio and Virginia only? 37 tickets. I've been pulled over 80 plus times for speeding. Yes, speeding. What was hidden? How do you hide being pulled over 80 plus times? How do you hide filing your taxes directly with the IRS for 20 plus years? Since I've been 18, how do you hide paying for your own cars? How do you hide? I'm not hiding about nothing. Just because you had a whole bunch of people turn against me, people that you paid to turn against me, mind you, you paid them, but were my friends for years. But because, again, I didn't have any resources to offer. Heck, I mean, I wouldn't even think that people I knew was willing to do that. I mean, yes, anybody can do what they want to do, but I wouldn't think that, dang, you needed money that bad that you had to turn against me. I had nothing to offer. How would I have something to offer? But the family in Virginia hid stuff. The family here in Ohio hid stuff. Things I didn't know about. And I haven't been bothered with them. No. When the hitman told me things I couldn't believe in June of 2025, it corroborated, because the thing was, nobody was expecting me to file divorce in May 2025. So by the time I did file divorce and nobody was expecting that this organized crime group that Jaffa was working with, I guess whatever they was doing was a problem. How would I know? He was supposed to kill me. Okay, you were supposed to kill me. And you've been watching me for months? What? Months? The hitman been following me for months? Of course I blocked Jaffa. Of course I blocked the mother I've had all my life. At 42 years old, I had to block the mother that I've had all my life, that I ain't did nothing to, and I have multiple proof of it. My phone records, my bank account, and everything else is proof of it. That I had no issues with my mother, my sister, my brothers, none of them down there. That they knew that Jaffa had all types of affairs going on and all types of money going on, and they wanted him to be happy and not me. A hitman sent to kill your child. A hitman that you paid for to kill your wife. A hitman that you paid for to kill your sibling. A hitman that y'all all put in on to kill a girl you dated. Come on, man. Y'all sick. Y'all sick. Y'all sick. When did I have the money to even do anything, to barely even defend myself? I didn't have no money, but I had my words and I had my life, and I'm gonna keep that. You want to bring my YouTube views down? Okay. Like I said, I don't get paid for them anyway. I never received a check from YouTube. When? It never hit my Chase Bank account. It never hit my Capital One account. So where's the lies and where's the fraud? Y'all backed up a foreigner. And again, I don't know where Jaffa is. I haven't talked to him. I haven't seen him. When we done, we done. We was done December 1st. And I had to start digging into the fraud he committed from April of last year. I've been digging into the fraud, the real estate fraud, the bank fraud, the social media fraud, the dark web fraud, the medical fraud, the insurance fraud, everything since April of last year. Don't act like, oh, I didn't know just because it's July of this year. No, I've been new. It's been over a year. I've filed police reports. I've talked about it on my YouTube channel. I've talked about it on my LinkedIn channel. Even though some stuff has gotten deleted, which I don't know how it shouldn't have been deleted off my YouTube channels, but I've been talking about it. I've been getting gang stalked since 2024. And all of this was because of Jaffa and the Fleshmans? Oh yeah, and their in-laws. The in-laws. And the social media tarot readers, the ones here in Columbus, Ohio, and a couple of different states. Let me say this to the men and women out there, y'all know me. If people randomly popping up in your life offering you some money, if they randomly doing that, because they did that at all the corner stores down there in South Columbus on South High Street, they had to, because that's who they connected to, and a bunch of other people. They connected nationwide, and they're connected internationally too. When I tell you, this woman today that helped me last week, she lost her job today. Like, when I tell you, I talked to her less than 24 hours ago, communicated with her less than 24 hours ago. And when we had a little bit of a go-ahead, she was terminated today, this afternoon. Man, y'all got the USPS erasing my forwarding address. Y'all got the USPS helping steal my mail. I didn't check my mail all week. A week. Ain't nothing been delivered. Come on, man. What was it? A Geico subscription. I ain't got no Geico. What kind of foolery is this? They've been stealing my mail for 3 years. Jaffa, the Fleshman, Alexis, the neighbor's been helping because the neighbor next door was helping steal my mail. So imagine the mail getting delivered at my house on Parsons. And then instead of me getting my mail, the neighbor walk out her door with her flat ass and she steal it. And then Jaffa behind them. Jaffa Abu Biha. And then his lawyer group behind the fraud too, but they don't also know who's also behind the fraud. This is going on and on and on. Half the time I have, most of the time, not half the time, most of the time when I'm in my apartment, I have one bar on my Spectrum phone for the coverage because of the illegal devices and how they mirror my phone. Hey, you know, about 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Sometimes you need 2 packs. When the coffee is pre-made, you need 2 packs in a cup like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get up off here, but I just wanted to make it clear. I have not spoken to my mom in over a year. I have not physically spoken to her in over a year. When I blocked Jaffa on June 19th, I have the text to prove it because he texted me June 20th and said, call me. It was already blocked. I blocked him, blocked my mom, blocked my nieces, nephews, everybody in Virginia. I have not physically spoken to them, whether it was a phone call, in person, or FaceTime, since June 20th of last year. I texted my mom on July 31st, my grandma's birthday. I love you, Mom. Take care of yourself. Not even happy birthday for my grandma, because that's important to me. I already know what she thinking. I already know what she on. Plus, it is what it is. She done. That's all I texted her. I'm the one that carries that torch. Nothing's gonna change that. I've been carrying the torch since long, long ago, before the Fleshmans and their fraud, before Jaffa, all of them. I will be the only one who will celebrate my grandma's birthday this year and not in vain. Before my grandma passed away in 2022, I sent my mom money to get her gifts on her birthday, either the day of her birthday or close enough to it. My mom never had to ask. This year I'm gonna do the same thing. So I put on my YouTube channel, y'all got 45 days left to commit y'all's fraud. Today is January 2nd or July 2nd. Let's go ahead and make it 42. Happy early birthday, Grandma Neil. Let's go ahead and make it 42. Her birthday is July 31st. I don't need y'all. I didn't need y'all last month. I didn't need y'all 5 years ago. I didn't need y'all 10 years ago. I didn't need y'all three minutes ago. Didn't need y'all. You can cut my YouTube views down. Like I said, I don't get paid for them. I don't care about them. I just needed the exposure because I'll be sharing my YouTube channel and my LinkedIn channel all weekend. It's my home of the brave, and I'm the one that's free. I've been free. So tell y'all freak of the weeks, and y'all freakazoids continue to lie on me. That's what y'all can do. But what you can't do is lie to my face. You can commit digital crimes if you want to. You can go take my videos and AI generate them if you want to. You can go call the police and tell them what you want to. But just don't forget, it's not real. I am, though. This is why everybody who knows, I'm sending them to this channel. When I meet new people, this channel. Actually, I'm gonna do a solid. I'm gonna get a shirt that says follow me on this YouTube channel because the fraudsters and the killers live right here in Columbus, Ohio. And then I'll put an at, which are YouTube readers' names on there because I know who they are. They followed me to my real estate appointment last year when I had an appointment for my real estate exam. They followed me there. Oh, you get what you give. It's as simple as that.